And I'm live. Hi guys. Today's live stream is about decluttering your mail inbox. Let me tell you why it matters. Uh, so you guys are aware that um, Gmail or any mail providers, they don't store all your data on your current device where you're using the mail application, but it is stored somewhere in some data center, and your iOS application or Android application or your laptop, all web application, all these are in sync with that server. So whatever you see on your laptop or phone, it's just a front end, an image. What all the operations and data is stored somewhere in some data center, and it includes everything, every single mail that you have received, which you haven't trashed, by the way, from day one of your account being created to today. And I think most of people have, uh, if you are watching and you are have started using mail accounts recently, then that's a good news. You are gonna learn a good habit of a really good digital etiquette today. And if you haven't, then you will really understand why decluttering your mail matters. So, we all know that digital footprint and our the way we are using so much energy to run the overall internet and keep on running our web uh, is a lot, and it matters. Efficiency and how we store data matters, and there are people who are getting really high paid jobs and with a lot of stress to figure out efficient ways to store data with as much less energy consumption as possible. So if you to make it simple for you, what I'm talking about is, if you have 5G, if you go on your mail account, since mine is Gmail, so I know where I can find details of how much my all mails since the day I started using Gmail to today are occupying. So you open your Gmail or whichever mail account you have, there is a certain, there will be a bar somewhere that will, uh, for Gmail, it's go to the end of your page, and then there is a little bar which shows how much of 15 GB of memory have I used. Why I'm seeing 15 GB? It's because Google provides 15 GB of free storage. If you need more than 15 GB storage, you need to pay for it. So currently, I am using 4.84 GB of 15 GB of data, which is minuscule. It's nothing compared to the corporate mail accounts, everyday mail transactions. It's uh, nothing compared to corporate mail traffic, uh, mail email traffic. I'm not mail saying mail traffic, I'm sorry. But even though it is less, it is still significant. So the, if you know, kilowatt hour is the energy consumption unit, right? So so kilowatt hour is the energy unit, right? There are some papers which describe uh, how much energy does one male require in its lifetime, and there are about 3 grams to 9 grams. Those are the estimations I roughly remember. But these paper, which every website quotes on sustainable living websites or any other website, That research paper is about 10 years ago, or from 10 years ago. So from that time onwards till today, we have come across so many developments in how we store energy. So our mobile capacity, memory capacity has, I mean, if I think it has grown about 10 times more than what was in that era. So I don't really agree with that number, and that number is also a guesstimation. I did not see how they calculated it so properly, because if you look for, I mean, the title is very BuzzFeed worthy. It's a very catchy title to say that how much energy does one email consume. But when you look at the overall thing, one email is very minuscule thing. It's like saying how much energy does one cell in my body consume when I eat food. I don't need to worry about how much each and every cell is consuming and then worry about my mass and then calculate how much food I eat. I can clearly go measure my weight and then decide for this weight this much calorie is needed, right? So mail is email, uh, you know uh, carbon generated per mail is such a vague idea in to keep in our mind, to try and make sense of how our email etiquette should be. By the way, whoever one viewer you are, feel free to comment anytime so that I can, you know, we can have a conversation. I don't do streams for like any monetization reasons or any particular reasons. I want to have genuine conversation and put my thoughts in words in videos. I am very active on Twitter as well, but I find Twitter to be sorry, YouTube to be a much better uh, platform to streamline my thoughts and have a conversation. So, if you have anything to say about whatever I am talking, it could be anything. If you're not understanding anything, whatever doubt you have, please mention it. I'll answer it right away. So, what I'm saying is, when you want to decide, just like people are now becoming aware of not wasting too much plastic, how much fuel they use, how much energy they use, people are also will be aware of deciding their digital etiquette so as to minimize their how much energy is our internet habit consuming without any reason. I think internet is a great great tool, but if we can curb our wastefulness around it, because right now we are so much wasteful that you know if you it's like it's too much wastefulness. It's like there is a whole big truck carrying the internet. Imagine there is a whole big truck which is going from New York to LA, and in that it is carrying all the uh, internet traffic from person A to person B. So if we visualize how much of it is wastefulness and how much of it is an actual content, you can say that you need to transfer only one something of this iPhone size. You have to transfer data that is of this iPhone size, but you are using an 18 wheeler truck with this phone and just big amount of dump and trash around with it that didn't even need to exist before, that is also being carried around from A to B. So how do we know why is this trash such a problematic thing? That is because whatever exists on the internet, it is being A transported from place A to and somewhere it is being stored and fetched according to need. So the transportation part is always going to be just like a truck. There is a truck that goes from New York to LA continuously, and while it is going to and fro, it carries certain amount of data every time it transfer from place A to B. And even if there is no data, the truck will still go from New York to LA and LA to New York. That is not going to stop. It is going to consume as much as fuel it needs from going to New York to LA for every trip. But if you add data, if it is a useful data, then that trip you can call it a successful transfer, a successful trip. But it is carrying just little amount of data and so much amount of trash, still it is a successful trip. It was going to happen anyway, so it right now also no issue of carrying so much trash. But as you know, with case of any vehicle, if there is so much unnecessary load, it always causes uh, certain mileage issues. So mileage issues means you are consuming energy unnecessarily, more fuel you're using for the same trip, right? So that energy completely goes to waste. So what I've said is the truck was going to travel from New York to LA nonetheless. But if it was carrying just the data it needed to carry, then it was a successful trip. If it did not carry any anything and it was just traveling, that is the basic case of internet traffic. That much it has to do nonetheless. But if it is carrying my information plus so much of chunk, it is going to reduce its mileage and increase the cost of how much we pay, how much energy is consumed in the internet traffic. So this is the case with transfer of data. Another case is server data that gets stored. As you know, all the things as we are discussing mails today, for Gmail, all my mails are just some uh, strings, right? Some strings, some other databases, and it's just a table of strings, right? In one table there will be date, there will be from, to whom, who received this mail. So these kind of tables and strings and numbers will be stored for that mail, and this data will be stored somewhere in form of simple ones and zeros. That much we all know, that all the data is stored at the last in binary form. But what is this binary form? To store a 1 in binary form, you have to keep a voltage of a flip flop at positive zero point 0.5 voltage. In previous or older uh, devices, we what we learned in engineering, we used to call, in our experiments we used to we used to call 1 as plus 5 voltage, 0 minus 5 voltage. But that voltage is, I think, about 0.5 volt or some 0.5 ev. It's very less in today's world, but still, if you have 1 GB of data, you are consuming a serious amount of data energy to store that much data in a data center somewhere, because you have to keep that voltage for every flip flop in certain position, plus voltage or minus voltage. It has to be that all the time, for all the days. It has to be the same today, it has to be the same tomorrow. So there are a lot of other components uh, that you have to run on a machine to keep that voltage on the same level. Okay. Like you need fans so that because of heat damage, the this doesn't change. data doesn't change, and you have to keep updating as well. But we have talked about the updation stuff. It's just like the truck example. So now that, how much exactly is the overall data consumption for 1 GB? 1 GB of data I'm going to talk about, because 1 GB is like a significant amount for a personal customer, casual user. It is absolutely nothing in front of a corporate user or a big tech company, because they handed quadrillions. I mean, I even forgot, it's something like QGB or something. It's billions and quadrillions of GB data they handle every day. But each one of us, if each one of us reduces our contribution to it, that number is going to get down as well, because we are one something in billion. We are, right? I think we are 7. How much we are? Population of the world. I forgot what is the population of the world, guys. If you know, please comment. Population of world, 7 billion, right? 7 8 billion people. So if you say only 50% people have access to internet, like let's say 4 billion people have internet. If you, every single person reduces their data storage by half a GB, just a half GB is not at all too much data. If you reduce that much data that is being stored on your data center about you every day, you will end up like reducing about 1.5 to 2 billion uh, GBs of data, and that is a considerable amount. Even personally, if you don't go in billions, just personally, how much energy we would be saving if we delete our junk mail is really high. Let me show you the calculation of how I'm gonna calculate. Okay, so there is one website. Uh, it's called. Yeah, I'm just going to see my history, because I had searched this. How much energy does it take to store 1 GB? If we store GB on some data center or cloud storage, it's gonna take about 3 point kilowatt hours of energy. So I'm just gonna write the calculation. 1 GB storage, 0.1 kilowatt hours. Okay, so even then they have even in the same article, so CO2. So in this article they have all. I don't need to calculate it for you. They have in this article, I've linked it down below. It's a Stanford article about carbon footprint of cloud storage. And cloud storage is not that different from standard data center storage. Cloud center storage is just a little bit more flexible than normal data center storage, but it's not that different. But you're storing or downloading having 2 GB storage on a memory card is lot more less energy intensive than 2 GB storage on a data center. So if you say that I'm gonna save this video on Google because I don't want to waste money and buy one memory card, it actually may be causing more energy consumption. Maybe you don't need to buy a memory card. Maybe save that memory card if according to your budget, and save as much stuff on Google and not on your devices. But whatever is the stuff you regularly need, please keep on storing it on your own mobile devices themselves, on your hard disk or on your memory cards. Um, so in this paper, if you can see, I will also uh, use this line here. So how this is calculated is, we're gonna check how much see, we need certain amount of energy per gigabyte to store. If you want to store 1 GB of data on data center, that is requiring a certain part of energy consumption of total data center, right? And that much energy, how much carbon does it take from fossil fuel to generate that electricity? So that is the amount of CO2 carbon footprint of that much data being stored on data center. So in the article which I have given above, they have said that 100 gigabytes of data in cloud per year will generate about zero point 0.2 tons of CO2. So for 100 GB, you are taking zero point 0.2 tons. So I guess 2 tons means 200. So 2 quintals of uh, CO2 for 100 gigabytes. So 1 GB is requiring about 2 kgs of, yeah, right, 2 kgs, 2 kilo of CO2 for 1 GB data storage for an year. That is the conclusion we have come to. So I'm going to write it down. 1 GB equals 2 kg CO2 on cloud. So this is any type of data. I mean, not just mail. It could be your iCloud photo storage as well, right? That is also the same thing. I mean, data is rendered in a different form, but when it gets stored in a memory space, a GB is a GB. It doesn't discriminate if it is a mail or it is something else. How it gets processed and rendered on your screen is different, but 1 GB equals 2 kilograms of CO2. So, if you go on your email list, you will see that there is always a bar down below of how much energy you're consuming. So, right now, my Gmail uses about 4.84 GB for out of 15 GB. So if I say that my I will not receive a single new mail and I will not delete any mails either. So for an year, to keep my Gmail as it is, I will be consuming about 8.9.6 kilos of CO2, which is totally unrelated, totally unnecessary, wasteful stuff if I'm not gonna use those much of emails anytime. But my inbox data size was not 4.84 GB before, because it's been about 10 or 11 years since I started using emails. And about from since 2012 till 2019, my inbox size was about 5.5 to 5.6 GBs of data. So uh, since now I've reduced a significant amount of trash that was there, which was let's say 1 GB of data for 1 year. So that trash I was carrying for about 7 to 8 years, right? 2012, since which I was carrying. So 9 years into 1 GB. That is 9 into 2 kg. So by deleting that much trash, I have reduced. If I had deleted that much trash in 2012, by today I would have reduced 18 kilos of carbon footprint from the universe. From the universe, I mean from the world, I would have reduced 18 kilos of CO2 emissions. Uh, this number will vary for each person, each one of us differently. I think I've made the reason clear why I am not going for comparing the size of each email, but rather considering the total amount of storage the whole inbox is taking, because it's much easier. If you are thinking about what is the size of mail I'm sending, or uh, in that terms, it will get more complicated for you, and it's just a mail, it's not that complicated, uh, and that much of big of a deal. So whenever you are pressing send on your corporate email or personal email, don't feel guilty and don't try to calculate all this thing. It is minuscule for one mail, but overall storage, when it compiles, it matters. So our target should be to really reduce all the extra unnecessary things you have in store. So if you are using mail from, let's say, 10 years, open your inbox, go to your oldest mails, and start deleting unnecessary stuff. A lot of you also be having mails even before Facebook and social media arrived. So you will find a lot of sentimental stuff as well. So I'm not telling you to delete everything. It's not a Marie Kondo tidying up session. You just have to delete all those things that are completely unnecessary. If you need that thing, or if seeing that thing makes you happy, don't think too much of not deleting a mail. But there, I will assure you, because I've done this personally, and by this moment I have not even checked 10% of my overall mails that have come to me from 2011 till today. But still I have been able to reduce the size by 1 GB. And from time to time, I used to, every year, uh, if I see an unnecessary mail, I used to unsubscribe, I used to delete the mails I don't need. Yet I still have so much trash. And so would you. If you check the things, you too will also have lot much trash. So if you clear that up, you will be saving so much of CO2 from our environment. And what that means is, whenever you go on next road trip, or when you use petrol for riding, you will just feel less guilty. And if all of us do start doing the same thing, we will be reducing so much of CO2 emissions, very significant amount. Um, I will start decluttering my inbox as well along with you. I hope you open your mail account on another tab along as just parallel to this stream, and start decluttering with me. We will start. If you're watching this on your mobile phone, I suggest you get your uh, you know iPad or some stuff where you can access inbox, and start deleting with me as well. If you don't have those devices right now, please watch this stream when you delete the stuff, so I'll keep you company in this such a boring and manual stuff. That is what is we are going to do. um, just give me 10 minutes before we start the next segment of our stream.
yourself. A lot of people also pointed out that it's actually fine because you're technically not related to humiliation on the same person. So I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, I guess is that fine?
I think that's
I mean, I still think you'd have weird kids.
We can sell that list to the government of all those people. It's fine. We'll make a little extra on the side.
Guys, thank you for sticking around. I darla na. So, guys, thank you for sticking around. Sorry for the interruption in this flow of the stream, but yeah, I had to help my mom. Yeah. So, so the next segment of this video is talking about why does it still matter that we use our internet cloud or data storage carefully, even when a lot of companies are saying that they will become carbon neutral in 2 or 3 years, and they are already very energy efficient and carbon neutral right now. So first thing, when a company says that they are carbon neutral, a lot of times they are just buying some credits, carbon credits from other companies. So even if you say that big tech companies have serious stuff and they are investing seriously in renewable energy that is being used for the data centers, it's not 100% clean energy. So chances that your data is being stored in fossil fuel, uh, being stored on energy created by fossil fuel, is a lot high. And even if that whole data centers get carbon neutral, it doesn't mean that they are emitting zero energy. What is happening is whatever energy is being used for data center is created by a renewable energy source. It could be solar, wind, or anything else. I mean, wave energy also doesn't have much. I think solar is the only clear renewable energy source. Also, nuclear energy is also doesn't emit CO2 emissions, but it's not really a clean energy. I would not call nuclear energy a clean energy. So, even though the energy is the clean one, the overall world has lot to do and lot to go ahead to make our energy use 100% from clean energy, right? So when a biggest chunk of clean energy is just going in to run our data centers, we are not using that energy for our daily tasks. Wastefulness of energy is wastefulness anytime. So if let's say this uh, 10 GBs or 100 gigabytes that are being stored on a carbon neutral data center, it is still consuming a certain amount of energy that could have been used for regular daily tasks. For that, if the if that 100 GB is a trash, we are still contributing to fossil fuel CO2 emission, energy emission, right? So because, and why it matters more for renewable energy is that renewable energy resources are not unlimited. Well, solar energy we are capturing, it takes lot of land, it takes certain amount of sunlight intensity, it can be done only in certain parts. So how much energy we can get from renewable sources per year or per unit of time is very limited right now. So even if it is renewable, we have to use it carefully. It will have less guilt, it will have less worry than a fossil fuel thing, but it still does carry some weight. So in any case, reducing that much waste is going to be a crucial factor. And maybe you have seen in the Google I/O 2021, they announced that the newer mail accounts will have automatic trashing systems, because my account was created far behind. I don't have that trash system, and I'm glad for it, because uh, I don't want to delete all my mails. I have certain mails from 2010 2011 which carry a sentimental value for me as well. Let me drink some water. And I am not a person who is in support of, you know, zero waste, create zero trash, don't buy anything of plastic, do not use fossil fuels at all, because I don't think that is such a great approach. Whatever technical advances we have, we should make use of it, but carefully. That makes gives us more time, uh, makes our standard of living better, and our life expectancy and quality of life better. But if it is just wasteful, it is just trash, it has to go, like right now. So that is all I wanted to talk about, why decluttering your mail is important. So viewers, if you have any doubts, please uh, write them down in comments. I will answer them before we start decluttering our mails right now. So if you have any doubts, you have about 5 minutes. Please post them in the comment below, and I will answer them before we start moving and decluttering my mail account. I hope I was able to convey my ideas clearly. See, I'm not a, professor or any. I'm not used to talking and explaining things a lot. This is a first one for me, and I dared to do this because I think this was something important. And even if this creates like a, even if it is embarrassing, it kind of creates an embarrassing moment, I don't care, because if it works, then it's gonna create a significant amount of impact. Not much enough for me. So um, even though right now I'll keep on talking for another 3 minutes. So if you have any doubt, please ask in this 3 minutes. So even though I'm specifically talking about uh, inbox, this because inbox is easiest thing to clean, right? Your cloud photo storage, your Spotify streaming habits, your Ghana.com or YouTubemusic.com streaming habits, they all matter. So if you are the kind of person who listens to a live video or any podcast on YouTube, so there is a video streaming, right? But it's kind of a background, you're not actually watching that video. So I will suggest reduce your video quality, so it will reduce the amount of data that is being transferred. If you are kind of person who listens to similar songs, I mean, we don't all listen to same songs every day, but if you are used to using apps like Spotify or Apple Tunes or anything to listen to music while you run or do your work, I suggest you to download the music that you listen every day on your device itself. It doesn't take too much of uh, too much of space on your device, but because you're listening to that thing every day, and because it's not on your device, it's coming from the web, whatever mbs that is the song is of, that much data is traveling back and forth every day, and it is creating unnecessary amount of traffic. You can store that music, listen to it every day, and you can listen to new songs using your streaming apps. But if you're gonna listen to one song 100 of times, then I suggest you download it, because let's say a song is of 5 MB and you listen to it about how many times will it take? to make 1 GB, about 1000. If you listen to it 200 times, it's gonna take 1 GB storage, right? For one song. So if we have 5 songs and those songs you listen every day, within 30 days you're going to consume 1 GB unnecessarily. So it's better that you, whatever songs you are listening to continuously, you store them. If you may ask which are the songs I listen to every day recurringly, then those are all the BTS songs. I have them stored, downloaded on my YouTube Music account, and not every song, but a few songs I listen to every day. I mean, BTS is there in my daily music track. Zayn Malik, if you know his songs, I do listen to every day as well. So since there is no question right now, 5 minutes are over. I'll start decluttering, and after decluttering for 30 minutes, I will also again check if you have any questions. So right now I'm moving into my inbox. I'm for a Gmail inbox, it already has a primary section, a social section, promotions, updates, and forums, right? So forums, I have already checked all the forum emails and decluttered them already. So from that, I'm going to go section to section decluttering. So I'm moving to updates. In updates, right now I have 15,837 mails. Before I started decluttering process, a month back I had about 19,000 mails. So that was about 3 GB of unnecessary data, which is not there anymore. Which means I have already reduced 6 kgs of carbon emission per year from my mail by doing nothing new. I did not change my eating habits. I did not invent any renewable energy resource. I did not have to invest in buying a solar panel or an electric car, and yet I have positively contributed in reducing the carbon footprint. Right? So I think we all need to do this to make a really good impact. So now I'm going to update section and start decluttering. I will, because you know, per page they will show about hundreds of your mails, right? 100 mails per page. So there will be about 157 pages I'll get. So uh, I'll click on the above number and start from the oldest page. So the first page I see is the oldest mails. Those are from 2015. And I've already checked so many of those pages. I think I'm gonna keep a lot of those mails. Hmm. So I'm on the fourth page from the end, which is 15,401 to 15,500. This is the page I haven't checked it, and I'll start deleting stuff from there. So I'm gonna start the timer. It is 1 a.m. 3 minutes right now, and I'll work till 1:33. Let's see how much messages I can find from page to page and delete in 30 minutes. I am looking into meals that are about 3 years back, 3 year old, and I found my Swiggy or Zomato order receipts and stuff like that. It's nothing, I mean, it's not a big deal, but it brings about some good memories. So I'm gonna keep those, even though they are really trash, but I'm gonna save those things because they matter to me. Uh, depends on you as well, what matters to you and what doesn't. So, yeah, delete as per your taste. Yes. I don't know how this is happening. Okay, I did not delete. So I find this certain mailing list I have been spammed with horoscope mails. So there is one mail for your shocking 2018 horoscope is ready. I'm quite intrigued to see what it has. But I'm not gonna see it. I'm tempted to kind of see it, but I won't. I'm gonna. Because you are moving so fast from page to page, you might also, you know, skip a few things. There are literally 15,000 mails to scan. So I'm not going to check every page as if it is my um, thesis paper. I'm just gonna do a slight fast look into the things. Even then you will be able to catch lot many unnecessary mails even if you do a bit of fast glancing. Guys, 20 minutes are done and 10 more minutes to go. We have about 5 minutes more to go. Let's see how many trash mails can I find. So my half an hour is over, so I'm gonna move to trash folder. So trash folder is just like recycle bin, and from that trash folder it will hold all the things you deleted for 28 days, and then it will delete. So I have deleted about 128 messages in about half an hour. Not bad, but not entirely good as well. My usual process is actually look up, I go through the 100 blocks of mails one by one, and if I see certain name or certain uh, keyword that is popping up again and again, I will search that in the search bar and go through all those mails with that keyword, and it just kind of boosts my speed to clean up. But today I didn't do that because I talk a lot while doing that, and I move forward and this like that. So I didn't want to do that on the stream, so I deleted about 128 mails. Let me just empty the trash now. Before emptying the trash, I have 4.84 GB, right? Storage data, I have checked that. I'm emptying the trash now. Okay, yes, delete 128. All messages have been deleted. I'm gonna refresh my Gmail page. Let me see if it has had any impact on my storage. 120 emails is not a lot. It's thing. Actually, it's nothing. But I have to do this because I did not keep an etiquette of checking my mails daily at certain time and deleting my unnecessary emails there and then itself. And another habit I want to keep is I would yeah, it hasn't had much impact. It is still showing 4.84. So maybe last time when I had done uh, 481 mails, if I had trashed, it would show about zero point 0.3 GB data deleted. So it's not a lot, but we have to do it anyways because every single day that we still keep the trash intact, we are actually wasting CO2 emissions unnecessarily. So we have to do it. There is one way to avoid it, that is to develop a email etiquette. You will not subscribe to a mail later until it is completely necessary. You can download, if there are certain things like TED Talks or newspapers, download certain apps that curate TED Talks, that curate newspapers, and generate a feed that you like. So do not subscribe to newsletters and anything. Unsubscribe. Let it be known to the newsletters that you're getting, the coupons you're getting, that I do not like the frequency. That is, if you're getting a free coupon daily that you do not use, it's the same coupon every day, let them know that you can just mail this coupon to me once a week or once a month. That will like it more, because personally I give more seriousness to coupons that I get once in a month, because I know they are well curated. If it's some random mail letter that every day bombards with me with multiple coupons, I don't think I will be in this rush of, oh my god, which coupon is the best, and I will end up using none of those. So have a mail etiquette to check your mail daily, read all your mail that you get on that day itself, and delete the unnecessary stuff. That way you will not create more and more trash, but whatever is your junk that was previously stored, you have to get rid of it one by one. And today I know I did not clear so much of trash. 128 mails is nothing. It's a significant amount, but not as significant as it can be. So my suggestion to you is to, you know, search a certain keyword in your inbox like loan, like this your certain and certain skill course, 60% off, 70% off, Trump, because you will gonna get a lot of news on Trump. This person messaged you, notifications from Facebook and stuff. If you are getting notifications from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, any app, you are an idiot. Yes, you are, because those apps have notification inbuilt in their app. If you have them on your phone, there is no need you need to get a mail. You have to unsubscribe from there right now, because all of that noise that gets you near your mail, you might lose an important mail on that day. Let me tell you an example. In between such a noisy mails about Facebook notification, LinkedIn notification, I lost one mail for a job interview of my best dream company. That lady had asked for my response for 2 days, but in 10 mails I had received that day, I skimmed over what mails I'm getting. It was about a loan, it was about a LinkedIn message. I completely skipped seeing that lady's message and lost an opportunity. Make sure that doesn't happen to you. How you can make that sure? Unsubscribe from unnecessary trash newsletter today itself. Okay, so I hope this session was helpful for you. I will be decluttering and cleaning my mailbox next week at the same time. Next week, I will not go into details of all the storage and all the things that I talked about in the first half, 1 hour of the day. I won't talk about it again. But if you have any questions, I will answer those questions. You can either comment them on this video or on that day, that video itself as well. So that's it, guys. It's about 2 a.m. in the morning here. So I'm gonna go to sleep. I hope you are well in wherever you are. So goodbye.